can't seem to get on live early. Maybe one of these days. Kind of my fault this time. I have been working on a song that I wrote the other day, and I kind of wanted to post it before I went live, but it was just taking too long, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go live and I'll post it later. I can't sleep, or maybe in the morning. And so just killing some dead space while I wait for people to show up, if anybody comes, because it's super late. But Sunshine, my sister's here. Hi. It's so good to hear from you. You're up late. How are you? You should call me. I have a new number. Darn it. I'll have to see if your contact is in Rowan's phone. She had my old number. Pull you a card? Okay. So I've got my healing deck, since healing is kind of the key theme right now. Okay. Give me a card for my sister, Tasha. And we got grounding with 36. You need to change your name. Oh, sorry. I won't call you that anymore. Tasha. Same number as always, except for I don't remember phone numbers. I'll have to look. I have a new number, and if I can't find yours, how would I? Because I don't have any social media. Someone's rising! I'm so happy you're here. So I just pulled a card for grounding, which is something that I think is a very powerful thing, because not only is it good for our physical bodies, it's good for our energy bodies and our souls, because when we get too ungrounded, it's like all of the electrical energy that we feel from the sun, that we feel from our environment, it gets very staticky. So, and then you start to feel almost like you're short wiring, so it can create a lot of anxiety, it can create panic attacks, and it can just make thinking straight, functioning really hard. So simple grounding techniques, whether through visualization or just really just like working on getting that energy out. So, you know, the earth, wood is great for grounding. We have the trees here as well. We have the feather, which sometimes is speaking through, like talking through the things, the frustrations and the anxieties that we're feeling, is also very grounding. For me, it definitely is. I know that through everything I've been going through in the last couple weeks, being able to talk about it, even going live the other day, I was so nervous, but being able to kind of talk about it a little bit, I know I can't really talk about it a lot, but even just that little bit made me feel very empowered and a lot more grounded. And actually, it helped me process a lot. Oh, well, thank you, Soul Moon's Rising. All right, so I am going to try to find your number, Tasha, so I can give you a call and kind of give you an update on what's been happening. It's been a lot. I haven't really been very vocal. You were just starting my video and saw you went live, so I jumped over here. I'll catch up on the other one later. The other one doesn't have a lot of details, but a little bit. I have been through a lot. I got in a car accident the other day, and that was just like the icing on the cake. And you know how I am about driving, so I mean, if anybody knows, like, from a personal experience how I am with driving, it's Tasha. She has a lot of the same issues with driving. We're both very nervous drivers. Oh, you know, I'm okay. You know, mild injury. I went to the doctor 2 days ago, and so I have to get x-rays done tomorrow, and then they have to do a nerve conduction thing to check the nerves in my neck, because the other night Joey just happened to come downstairs and I was breathing weird, and then I just like stopped breathing completely. And it's funny because I thought he had shaken me awake. That was my recall because I just like felt somebody shake me awake and it scared the crap out of me. I like jumped up and he was like, Mom, you weren't breathing. And I was like, oh my God. But he said he didn't shake me awake. So I don't know. Maybe it was one of my spirit guides or ancestors did it for me. Yeah. I it's gonna be hard to drive again. I'm gonna be honest. But I was really, really lucky. So the accident, I mean, honestly, I couldn't have asked for more when it came to having a cop there because I know being next to cops is always just nerve wracking, even when you're not doing anything wrong. But so I had pulled up to the intersection right next to the cop. He was in the straightaway and I was in the turning lane. And so we both entered the intersection at the same time. And he went straight and I went to turn left on a blinking yellow light. And literally, like out of nowhere, this tiny little red Ford Fiesta just like comes freaking out of nowhere. And so I don't remember too much because I kind of dissociated a little bit. Um, but I just kind of still can like see the lights, like, and my brain just didn't like respond. And I was also recovering from a concussion, so that might have been part of it. And his little red car just like took out my entire front end of my car. And so his car was completely totaled. My car was completely totaled. And turns out, and I just like, as soon as I saw this kid, I just started freaking crying because he was just a child. He's 16 years old. He had just gotten his driver's license and he had just gotten a new car. He'd only had it for like 2 days. It wasn't even insured. It wasn't even properly registered. It had a trip permit on it. And yeah, yeah, I honestly, if it would have been a bigger car, it could have been a lot more devastating. And I'm grateful that he wasn't hurt. I think the thing that scared me the most was the fact that he's so close to the same age as my son, who's also turning 16 in just a couple weeks. Um, it's like he was speeding. I mean, that's what it comes down to. He said he was going 40. It was a 30. It was an intersection. Me and the cop both agreed that he probably was going faster than that. And I guess the greatest blessing about him being there was that he was able to kind of like, yeah, I mean, we both entered the intersection at the same time. You should have had more than enough time to turn left. Um, that car was definitely going pretty fast. Um, but my insurance was able to cover, his car because I had uninsured driver and liability. And it's also covering my injuries for the next 2 years. So it should cover like everything, my x-rays and the nerve conduction study and all of that. Hello, Michael Drexler, welcome. Yes, I'm really grateful too, because it really could have been a lot worse. The kid was okay, and I thought it was okay at first too. It wasn't until I got home and started filling out the collision report and started getting a really bad headache, and I was like, I just must be really stressed out, and like the whole side of my neck started getting really stiff. And I typically have issues with my neck and stiffness, but it's more often on the right side of my body. And so this was like all down the left side of my body. And the impact was from the driver's side. So it kind of jolted this side of my body. And so, as far as like me not breathing in my sleep, is most likely related to nerves in my cervical spine that regulate your breathing. So that's why I have to get the nerve conduction. I know the poor kid, he was really sweet and he was really scared, and I felt really bad because his dad showed up and his dad was a dick. Pardon my French, but oh my God, he wouldn't even look at me. Like I went over to him to try to introduce myself and give him my insurance, and he just acted like I wasn't there. And like after he showed up, his kid just like was like solemn, and I was like, that son of a gun. He hurts this kid because of this accident. I'm gonna be pissed. Not that he was, he was not doing the right thing. But he's 16 years old. Their prefrontal cortex isn't even developed enough to be able to recognize that stuff as well. That's why I get so nervous about my son learning how to drive. um, that being said, he still shouldn't have been speeding in his new little car. But still, if he would have been injured worse, I would have been devastated. You named your puppy Lucky 13, son of a gun. Oh my god. So that I'm not on social media anymore, but I did get on for like a minute because there was I forget, there was something I had to look at. But it ended up being just a waste of my time and energy, and so I just deactivated it again. And I activated my account that I don't ever use, my old account, because I was like, I don't want anybody to know I'm back on social media. It's just so I can verify this hunch that I had, because I have pretty strong intuition, and sometimes I doubt it, and so it was just I needed a confirmation. So yeah, he was a really sweet kid too, and I felt bad because he was a high schooler, his first car, and he was probably just trying to have fun, but still, it's like his dad shouldn't have let him be out driving at night with no insurance, and B, he shouldn't have been speeding. Like that hopefully was a really important lesson for him to learn because he didn't get injured. Luckily, it was with somebody like me who is very, nurturing and caring and not going to like yell at him and make him feel bad, although I feel like his dad probably did. Because his dad just like, he showed up and he just had this like whole energy, like when you feel like somebody just takes up the whole space with their anger, I just like I felt so bad for the kid. I wanted to protect him from his dad, even though I didn't even know him. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, it's a lifelong lesson. Hopefully, it stays with him. He makes better decisions moving forward with driving. Um, just in general, like how easy it is to make that kind of a mistake. Ultimately, I was at fault because I was on a blinking yellow light and he was on a green light. So even though he was speeding, it was still failure to yield, and my insurance was able to cover him because of that. My car is totaled, so I no longer have a vehicle, and that was my income. I mean, I have my Etsy shop, and thank you in advance to anybody who's bought readings from me in the last couple of days. You guys have saved me. Like, I'm not even joking. I haven't been able to make any income because I was relying on Uber to pay my bills and support my kids, and I'm not getting any support from their father at all. So it's like I'm scraping coins. I mean, I used quarters to buy cat food the other day. So um, I had enough. The universe provides. I got, a couple readings, and those have really helped. And then one of my clients that I did a hypnosis session for, like over a month ago, was able to pay me. And I'm actually really grateful that he wasn't able to pay me right away because um, then I wouldn't have been able to have that come in exactly when it did, which is I've been like panicking these last couple of days. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to, be able to buy essential items for my kids when I can't even get any money for their father to take care of them? So it was just like such a blessing. So I'm so grateful for the universe. And it's funny because last night I was so upset about it and then I just like I let it go. I was like, you know what? Honestly, somehow the universe has been able to like drop little coins and little bits every now and then exactly right when I need it. So I know that I'll be able to pay the bill that is due tomorrow. And I just need to stop worrying about it. And I was able to get exactly enough to pay the bill. Like I'm talking like almost down to the dollar amount. So I was like, oh, that's so Jansu, welcome. Um, yeah, I love 13 too. It's been a good number because it really represents transition and change. It's a very powerful number. And I feel like it's connected to death and rebirth. And that's what I feel like I've gone through. I basically had to let everything go. I'm down to very minimal possessions. I've let go of my entire life here. Everything that I started, I had to let go of. I mean, I can pick up back where I left off with pole eventually. It's just something that I have to kind of hold off on. I still a little bit get sad because I was really looking forward to going to PSO competition in SF in January. That was something that was really important to me. But it'll happen again. It just won't be this year. Maybe next year. Oh, Bella, no. Bella. She was the best dog. Bella was so smart. She was so like intuitive and sensitive. And I remember when I was pregnant with Katana, because I was having issues with like my blood sugar, and I was having problems eating because I was really depressed. And I recognized that I actually it's kind of like a trauma response for me when um, whenever he would get mad at me, I would not be able to eat. I would like starve myself, not intentionally, but it's just like I couldn't eat. Um, and so um, that was just a really hard time for me when I was pregnant with Katana, um, trying to be a single mom and homeless, sleeping at Tasha's house. Tasha actually took us in during that time, and it's kind of weird because here I am again, homeless. I've been homeless a few times in my life, but my family's always kind of come in and helped me out. So it was Tasha before. Kiva's helping me out, get out of this place and give me a place to stay until I can get on my feet. I'm going back to Tahoe because I can work there and I can make good money there. And I can't do that here, and I can't be here. It's not safe. I constantly feel like I have a target on my back. I have to walk everywhere I go because I don't have a car anymore, and I just constantly feel like I'm being watched. Yes, we are struggling as a collective, and even with all the challenges that I have been through, they have all these hidden blessings that have been actually really beneficial for my future potential, getting me out of a really bad situation. I was not in a good situation at all. I was in a really unhealthy relationship, and I was really unhealthy myself because of it. And the universe, heard my cries and was like, it's gonna hurt, but we're gonna make it happen for you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in Bend right now. I was just going to bring that up. She was so knowing. She knew right away that you were pregnant. Yeah, totally. She was, oh man. And she used to like she'd whine at me when I hadn't eaten in a while to remind me to eat because my blood sugar would get low. She would sit in front of me and just whine at me, and I'd be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Be like, "Oh, when was the last time I ate? Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've eaten today." And so, as a pregnant person, you cannot, go without eating. So she was such a blessing. She really kind of kept me healthy, and Katana ended up being my biggest baby. She was almost 8. She was 8 pounds. 8 pounds, like 6 ounces or something. Oh, you got to go to bed, Soul Moons. I'm glad you came. And I'm gonna start going live again more often. Just I feel like the universe really wanted me to kind of get back to what I started, and then coming back to Bend, I really shut down a lot and put myself into kind of a cage. And so now I'm releasing myself from that cage. Hello, Alexandria Armstrong. Oh, you're in Southeast Portland. Nice. I lived in Portland when I was a kid, but I haven't been there for a really long time. Yes, you cut her cord. You were there with me the whole time, and I'm so grateful because that was such a difficult childbirth. Like, honestly, I feel like you were so like you were like my bodyguard because I didn't want him to be there, but I also needed him to be there because it was his kid. But yeah, I think that having you there made me feel a lot safer, so I'm really grateful. Maybe you can visit this weekend here in Bend. Yeah, because I'm here in Bend. for a couple more weeks. My TRO is good till the end of the month, and then I got to give him back his apartment. But for now, we're safe and we're protected. So I love you. it's it's been a lot of really beautifully scary stuff in the past couple of weeks, and it all happened so fast. Like, I was only supposed to be here, like, the original plan was just to come back for a couple days, so Joey could see his friends and say goodbye, and I could get their school stuff. And then it was like, okay, well, maybe we're gonna have to stay a little bit longer so that I can make enough money so when I come back I am able to, not be staying with the in-laws. And then I got I got a concussion like right after I got here, so I was moving stuff up. Angel fish, I'm so glad you're here. Hi. So I got a concussion right after I came back. It was only like 3 days or something, 3 or 4 days. I was moving stuff out of the closet to put in my storage unit, and I ended up hitting my head on a low ceiling and got a concussion. And so I couldn't see for like 3 days out of my right eye. So I wasn't able to work. I was having really bad migraines, and I was sleeping in my car, so I was just really struggling on top of that. And it was pretty hot. I remember one day I had a really bad migraine. It was I think 2 days. It was the day I went to the ER, but it was like 2 days after I had gotten the injury, and I couldn't even move. I think the fact that I had an ice pack, like one of those weekender ice packs, and just like laid it on my chest. I think that's probably the only reason I didn't like overheat, because it was so hot. It was almost 90 degrees. Sea Star. Yes, if you can come up this weekend, that would be great. And I'm trying to think. I really hope that your contact might be saved to my Google account, because I did have some old contacts come up on that, so I'll have to check. If anything, I can try to get the number from somebody. I don't want to put the number in the chat. If you have my email address, that would work too. I'm just not on any social media because it's not safe to be on social media. I'm being attacked a lot through the internet right now, so it's just not safe for me to be on there. YouTube is really my Etsy shop. You can always send me a message on my Etsy shop. That's open. And yes, if anybody wants to order readings from me, I do have to renew a couple listings. They are sold out, and I keep forgetting. But I will do that tonight. But my shop is open, and it's just it helps so much. Yeah, it's the same apartment. If you've been here by the park, then yes. Oh yeah, I have pictures of you with the girls. Oh, they were so little. Gosh, it's been so long. Yes, you can just come by. I mean, we almost always have somebody here. If it's not me, it's Joey. Just to keep the place safe, because we don't actually have a key to the apartment, so it's like leaving the apartment kind of leaves it vulnerable. Yes, you can send me a message on Etsy. That's perfect. Yeah, so let's pull a collective card for everyone. Ooh, there it goes. And we have, sexual energy. So, 25. So making choices and decisions connected to like our sexuality and our expression of that are beneficial for change and not repeating the same old cycles. I definitely had to learn that one the hard way. Yeah, I think that also it's giving me a good chance to really honor myself, honor my body, to not just give it to manipulation. Yeah, and so acknowledging that and recognizing how I've done that in the past is also, I think, a huge part of healing. And it's also a great place to find your power. So I had really bad self-esteem, and I just was not impressed with the way that I looked for a really long time. When I started doing pole, I think that was probably the best I had felt about myself, because I was just really fit, I was really muscular, I was really strong, and I didn't hate myself when I looked in the mirror. I'm a little on the skinny side right now just because I got down to like 98 pounds after everything happened. So the last class I did was July 23rd, and then the day out of time on the galactic calendar, July 25th, was the day that I left. And by the time I had weighed myself, I think it was 3 days after that, I was down to like 98 pounds. I was only about like 105 or 106 before that, but I was really muscular. And my body had just completely eaten itself because I didn't eat for 3 days. I was stressed, I was upset, and I have this terrible trauma response where I just can't eat when I'm upset. And I've been really working on that. I've actually been able to get my weight up to 107 since I got here, and even though that seems pretty small, for me, that's a big victory because I was struggling so hard just to keep it above 100. And I was so upset with like how quickly I lost everything that I had gained. All of my muscles were like gone. I was like, I worked so hard to get to the point that I was, and in just a matter of days, I was just bones. Hero, way to push through. Thank you, Angelfish. A new birth, absolutely. It was such a death. Oh, thank you, Thor. It was such a death. It literally was. Like I was. If you would have seen me, I looked like I was dying. It was a physical death, a spiritual death, a death of that life and that timeline that I was existing in. And it's so funny that it happened on the day out of time. And I was like, what? And what a quantum leap. Like, just the timing of that was just crazy. Yeah, perfect. John, Benny. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're here. I was kind of wondering if you'd be able to show up because I'm on a little bit later because I know our times are so different. What is it, like 4 in the morning there right now? It's so good to have you here. I know I have my glasses on, but they still aren't so great, so I still kind of have to lean in. I keep noticing, like, I do. Yes, yes. Hello, my name is John. Keep taking care of yourself. It can bring the sense of accomplishment you need to keep going forward and achieving success in your life and your health. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm actually really proud of myself, to be honest. Through everything I've been through, just coming this far, just getting, at least my shoulders back a little bit. They were so bony before. They're still a little bony, but it was like that. Thank you, John. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. I just went through the most intense death, and now I feel like Phoenix Rising for sure. And I feel like karma's really on my side right now, and I feel very empowered. Um, I probably wouldn't have said that a week ago, but I was able to process through a lot of what I've been going through and let go of a lot. I don't I don't know if maybe the full moon had something to do with that. It revealed a lot to me, and um, I was able to just acknowledge and recognize like where I was really holding on to things that were just keeping me stuck. And so being released of that, even violently and in such an intense way, um, that in itself just showed me how much power was behind that death and rebirth process. Like it's probably, I've been through death and rebirth. Like I'm a Scorpio rising, so that's like kind of my forte. this was probably one of the most significant ones I've been through in my whole life. Yay! Thank you. Oh yeah, of course. Michael, I'm just pulling collective cards. If you'd like one, Scorpio Riser. Yep. If you'd like one, I can pull you one. I'm going to pull one for Alexandria. I've got my healing deck today. So, Alexandria, we've got struggle swimming upstream. So it's funny because that's literally what I was just talking about. This is about recognizing and acknowledging our struggles and how they can bring change. It can seem almost like you're not going anywhere when you're swimming upstream because you're not going as fast, but you're still getting somewhere. Is it the salmon that swim upstream to get back to their home? I don't know. There's some story behind that, but basically, like for me, in my situation, I've had to push against the current really hard to kind of stay on my feet rather than let it sweep me away and take me somewhere else. Sometimes you should just go with the flow and let it take you where you need to go. But in certain circumstances, you may have to acknowledge that you can still get where you need to go. It just may be a little bit harder. So you can take that in two different ways. You can take it as maybe you are trying too hard to get where you need to go, and the current is trying to tell you to let go and let it take you. Or it's like you need to get to a certain place, and there is a lot of current kind of directed at you, so you're having to push a little bit harder to get there, but you can still make it. It just might take a little more effort. So that's where you can kind of look at both sides of that card and kind of apply it to your situation as needed. Also going through it, but all the ways feel on the path. Yeah, absolutely. And so the cool thing about that card that I just pulled is you can actually apply both scenarios to most situations of struggle. Oftentimes when we are going through challenges, it's going to feel like you're pushing against the wind or moving against the current. But even when that wind is really strong, you can still move forward. It's just a little bit harder. So if you have enough determination, you can get where you need to go. And then also sometimes it could be telling you like, hey, just let me take you. But, and here's the but with that one, if you let the wind just sweep you off your feet, it could bash you into a wall. So sometimes it helps to have that push because that still gives you a level of control. Detours are great places to find new postcards. Oh, I like that. 11:11. I have no idea what time it is. Oh, 11:13. Oh, there we are with the 13th too. I was just talking about earlier how powerful 13 is and how it's connected to that rebirth process. So 11's initiating that rebirth, that transition point between the new beginning. And that's what I feel like I'm in, is that kind of that 13 energy. I feel like I'm in that energy of transition where everything has ended from my past timeline, but my new one has yet to begin. And I'm just in this energy of 13, the middle. The liminal space, liminal spaces are just, I guess, I'm a very liminal being, so liminal is great for me. Thank you, John. Yeah, I'm going on an involuntary detour right now. Welcome it. It's taking you somewhere, even if you don't know where that is. It's going to take you somewhere better than where you may have originally been going. And I've had to really learn that, like things that I was really, really holding on to very dearly. I really don't want to sell my instruments, but I also had to acknowledge, like, hey, this is going to be something that's going to help you get through. And it's really, it's what I have right now. I don't have a lot of assets. And I keep going back and forth with it because I'm like, well, I really want to be able to write more music and I want to be able to put my live instruments on it. And if I sell them, I'm never going to get a new one. Um, so, kind of the blessing behind that is the pickups were taken out of my guitar, so it's basically unsellable. So, I can't sell that, but my bass I may have to sell just so I can support my kids. Unless I'm able to make enough sales, I do have a couple pieces that are almost finished that I'm going to put into my shop, some jewelry that I'm working on. I have a crown that is almost done. Where is it? So I can show you guys. So, this is the one that I was working on. I started making it a couple days ago. It's hard to see, but hopefully it'll be available soon. And then I have a couple other pieces that I'm working on, so hopefully those will help. Oh, yes, absolutely. So if anybody does want to leave a donation, and thank you, John Vinny, I have links in my information box if you just go to the info box on the live stream for my PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. And honestly, anything helps right now. I hate asking people for like donations, I honestly do, but I'll take anything right now because it's just like it's been really hard, and I think that's also one of my lessons is to like just be okay with that. Like I'm more than happy to provide services in return for funds as well. So if that's something people are more comfortable with, absolutely buy a reading from me. Or I don't have any jewelry in yet, but I will soon. But if you do want to leave a donation, like my heart, thank you. Yes. Surfing the waves, paddle out and turn up, stand up and ride. Yes. Crossroad. Yes, absolutely. 13 is the goddess. And so crossroads are also a liminal space. Um, and that's also the place where you get to shift your direction. You're no longer in a linear path. You've now been given the opportunity to change directions. And sometimes that's one of the most powerful things you can do when you're struggling is to shift your direction. And that's what I'm doing. I'm shifting my direction towards being more independent, supporting my kids in a more healthy manner. I got myself into a very codependent situation, and it allowed for a lot of manipulation and loss of control of my own autonomy. And I'm never gonna let that happen again. I feel you. Yes, I'm so done with pushing so hard, pushing the universal river. Yeah. Involuntary, aka stubborn, needed a push. Yes. Is there a link we can? Oh, wait, no, I read that one. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I keep going back and forth because I tend to miss. I noticed that the other night when I watched the replay, I missed so many people's comments, and I feel so bad when I do that. So if I miss anybody's comments, I'm not doing it on purpose. I promise. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Tasha. Yes, donations are a big part of your income, and it's a beautiful way for people to give without having to receive directly. And you still receive, honestly, when you give somebody a donation, the universe gives it back. And just like I was talking about earlier in my live stream, I had a client that I had done a session for, and he was going through some hard times. And I was still more than happy to do the session for him. I said, just pay me when you can. And he just happened to be able to pay me today out of his birthday money, which is just like, oh, my heart. um, and it ended up being exactly the amount I needed to pay my bill that's due tomorrow. And I was just like, and I was just like, so happy. And I was talking to my son. Well, my son came down last night and I was like talking to myself, and he was like, oh, I thought you were still doing your reading because I heard you talking. I was like, no, I was literally just talking to myself. I was like encouraging myself because I was so panicking earlier on in the day about how I was going to get this bill paid. And I just like kind of shifted my energy around. I was like, you know what? I was able to pay the other bills that I had due, like right when they were due. I didn't have to pay the overdraft fees because a lot of them are automatic payments. And so it's like, not only would I have had to pay the bill, but the overdraft fee on top of that. And so I had some readings come through just in time to pay those with, so I didn't have to pay uh, the overdraft. And so I was just like, I know that it's going to happen again. I know the universe is going to make it happen. I need to just stop panicking. I just need to trust. And it's like today, it just proved that to me. So that just goes to show like how much we can trust the universe. I'm sorry. Yeah, my phone is making noise. Oh, thank you. Thank you, John Vinny. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. And the numbers are really identifying change. Like I'm stepping back into my power. I feel very empowered. I feel, and thank you for putting that link in. Yeah, I bet macabre, but you know, it's my chair. So you can just be jealous over there. Yes, you're my hero, John. Yes, thank you. Movement is key. Goofy foot on the skateboard. Hi, Light. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so I have been very active since I got my car accident. I pretty much have to walk everywhere, so I'm walking anywhere from 10, like averaging 10 miles today, 10 miles a day, but when I'm walking to a lot of appointments, I'm getting closer to like in the 20s. Like I think the other day I did like 18 miles or something like that. Thank you, John Vinny. So, let's pull another card for you guys. I felt very drawn to this deck today because it's my shamanic healing oracle, and psychic development 5. Like 5s is such a significant number for change. It's also a liminal number, as we were talking about liminal energies, and then we also have the swan here. So very Venusian energy, and as a Libra, I have a lot of Venusian kind of archetype stuff going on. So I'm really artistic. I'm very creative. I'm very much into aesthetics, as you can tell. I love my plants. They're so beautiful. Hopefully I can bring them with me, but even if I can't, I know I can give them to Libby and she'll take good care of them. So she's a good plant person. And one of the other things I noticed about the card is the water. So water is very much connected to our emotions and our soul and our psychic abilities. So yes, Venusian. So Venus is the ruler of Libra and Taurus. And Venus is oh, I saw. That was weird. I thought I saw Bravery come in. I was like, oh, he's up late. So yes, like Venus. So Venus is, the archetype of art, creativity, aesthetics, careers. And that's kind of a big theme of what I'm going through is I've been writing a lot of new music. I actually wrote a song called Karma yesterday, based on my experience that I'm going through right now, and just how empowering it was for me to let go of trying to get justice. Like, I think that was one of the themes that I was kind of dealing with prior to my last life. And I feel like I kind of processed through that. And the live actually helped me process through that, helped me feel more empowered, and kind of just helped me acknowledge that, hey, like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to make anything happen. I don't have to prove to people. I don't have to defend myself to people, because karma's going to take care of it for me, and she already is. Like, I'm already seeing it. And keep an eye out in the next day or so, maybe even after the live, for my song. It's not like much of a video. It's like a picture, AI generated picture, and I tried to put the lyrics on there because I just don't have time to do the whole, like I did for Echoes of Silence. I did the Sora AI and made a pretty cool video for that, but it took me like 2 or 3 days to do, and I don't have that kind of time to dedicate right now. Maybe in the future I will, just because I'm really focusing on getting everything packed and cleaned and just ready to leave this place so I can get it all put in storage and I can get the heck out of here. So we've got emotional release and teaching. There with the trees, as we were talking about grounding earlier, and 37, my number, emotional release. So one of the other things is I've been meditating a lot, and releasing all that pent up energy has been so beneficial, because I kind of stopped meditating for a while. Like, I wasn't doing it very often. I would only do it like when I was doing readings, because it's kind of a requirement for me to do a reading. um, it's part of the grounding and cleansing process. Like, I don't feel like I can read without meditating, but now it's like I just do it because it makes me feel better. Yeah, so many miles. I run about 4 miles and a couple of mile dog walk at lunch. Feels a fraction of what you do. Well, it's not all at once. So it's like when I go to my doctor appointment, it's actually 2.16 miles from my house to the doctor. And so that's a little over 4 miles there. And then the other doctor I went to, because I have a couple, they're all kind of in the same area, but they're a little bit farther. So over on the other side of 27th was 2.56 miles. And so I think that one took me, the first day took me like over an hour, but it was like 97 degrees outside. It was really hot. I kind of overestimated that. It should have only taken me 44 minutes, but it takes me about 31 minutes to walk from the apartment to my doctor, which is right across from the ER. So they're about the same distance, and so I've done that walk a couple times, and then from here to the courthouse is also about 30 minutes of walking, and I pretty much walk everywhere now. And I used to do that in Tahoe too, so it's really good. It keeps my body active, and um, it kind of gives me the opportunity to just kind of settle into my headphones and get out of my head so much, and just kind of like let my body move. Yes, I like the snakes. Shedding the skin. Yes. Fives are crunchy, but they show off the celebration for leveling up. Yeah, they're that liminal point between structure, change, and then that rebirth, like that sometimes a revisit. I like to think of sixes in a lot of different ways. Like, they can bring blessings. They can also show a lot of the destructive force that was um, the catalyst for the change. So it's a time of reflection, and it's also a time of receiving. Yes, karma will rebalance others for us. Yeah, so that's like I was like, I need to stop being so angry. I need to stop. I mean, I can be angry. I'm gonna re-say that. I can be angry, but I don't need to let it put me into these dysregulated states where I'm pacing around my house and I'm getting angry and I'm getting snappy with my kids because I'm so angry. It's like channeling that into my music really helped me kind of release that from my body. And even though it's an angry song, it feels good. Even when I listen back to it, it's like it kind of re-empowers me. And I feel like my best songs have been written out of some of my like hardest times, biggest pains. My butterfly song, if you go to my community post uh, page and you can see Psyche's Redemption, the music isn't actually on there because I don't have any way to like actually like create the music. I don't have studio and I have limited instrumentation. So I've been using the AI generator and just putting my lyrics into it and then just kind of developing a style through, how I feel I want it to come forward. So just keep that in mind. It's not me singing. Eventually, I'm going to run it through the digital audio workstation and replace, some of the instruments and the vocals with my own. It's just a matter of being able to do that and having the space to do that. So in the meantime, enjoy the AI generated versions of it, but the lyrics are mine. They're from my heart, they're from my soul, and they speak of my experience. Sometimes restorative justice is letting go. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you love my music. Yeah. Follow the leaves, grab the sun when attached, and fertilizer after the fall. Just leave it. Barry, they have a program in Oregon right now to get you into an energy efficient car. It's on your OHP or SNAP. Oh, interesting. Um, that's how you got your car. I'm actually not going to be in Oregon for much longer, though. I'm leaving Oregon here in a couple weeks. So maybe California will have something similar. If anything, I can start working pretty much as soon as I get there. I have a lot of experience as a bartender and I can pass a drug test, so I can get a job in the casino pretty easily, and they're hiring for a lot of positions. So I'm really not worried about finding work, and holidays are coming up. So October is like the last month of slow season before you hit the holiday season, and then it's like it explodes there, and you make really good money. So I'm excited. That is that. Yes, meditation is such a huge part of my life on my journey, and to learn life is a meditation. Honestly, meditation has saved me so many times. It's gotten me out of really intense energies. I'm more of an active meditator just because I can get a little overwhelmed with stillness meditation, just because my clairvoyance can get really overwhelming. Anybody who experiences like clairvoyance, especially if they've experienced it their whole life, um, can probably relate. Um, it's like I have to have a specific set like intention and destination for my clairvoyance to not be overwhelming. If I just try to like meditate, then it's just like too much, and I can't, like, there's no direction, and it's just overwhelming, and it's just too much. So I do breath work because that gives me something to focus on. And so even though I still have like some clairvoyance, especially during the breath holds, it's not as intense. And I can usually use those moments to focus on specific intentions or affirmations rather than trying to. Because I mean, when I first started meditating, I would just kind of let it go and let my clairvoyance take me to all these kinds of places. But then it does get a little bit much, and it gets really overwhelming. And then it was creating some confusion as well as disorientation, and that was also challenging for me. So it's kind of one of the ways that I help myself regulate through my abilities as well as maintain a healthy energy body. So breath work. If anybody has issues with like stillness meditation, breath work, or active meditation through dance or art is also very powerful. When I'm writing my music, tends to be um, during migraines, which I also, a lot of my most intense and poetic songs have been written during migraines because I do have to be in a surrendered state in that time. And so it gives me an opportunity to kind of have a focus and intention, because I can get into some really interesting places when I'm not surrendered, and it's overwhelming sometimes. I can only write poetry when I'm really going through it. Same. Like if I'm having a great time, I'm just like it doesn't come, like it comes from those deep places of pain. And I mean, you can really hear that in my lyrics. It comes from somewhere deep inside. It's not just superficial. It's not surface. There's a lot of depth to my words. So go to my community tab and check out Seggy's Redemption, and I'll try to post that song too, or at least a version of it. That's the thing about like the AI music is you can make so many different versions. It's hard to pick one. So I'll post a version of it, and but read the lyrics. That's really the most important thing is the lyrics because that's where the soul is in those lyrics. Yes, I love that I'm creating again too. If you want to come to my YouTube live stream on a Monday or Thursday, let me know. I love sharing amazing people with the world. Yes, so let me know what time because I know our times are a little bit weird. And if I can schedule it or plan for it, it's so much easier. So just um, crap. I don't. There's like no way to get a hold of me. Just leave a comment like on this live stream. The last one took like 2 days to process, so hopefully this one won't take as long. I kind of think that maybe it got flagged because of some of the things that I was talking about because I started talking about some colonization. And that can be a controversial subject right now. So I was just like, maybe that's why it took too long for it to, it took like 2 days for it to finally process and post. But hopefully this one won't. If anything, leave a comment on the Psyche's Redemption. So that's really the best way to talk to me right now. It's through my comment sections on YouTube. So hopefully it'll be safe for me to go back on social media eventually. Of course it will be eventually, but just not right now. But I would love to do that, John Binney. That would be an honor. House. Aw, I'm so glad you guys are here. It's such an honor to have such important people with me right now. And it's funny because I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, psychic development, emotional release, teaching, and struggle. And that's just such a huge part of what I'm going through right now, but also what I'm seeing through a lot of collective transformation. A lot of people are learning to release pent up emotions that they've been holding into their body. And so it's helping them access more psychic abilities, helping them acknowledge that their struggles are actually opportunities to not only learn from for themselves, but also teach others how to navigate, because when we can relate to other people's struggles, we can also better navigate our own, because oftentimes we can't see how to get through it until we see that somebody else has. And so it's very inspiring. 11 a.m. Eastern time. Oh, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday. Oh, yeah, I'm up that early because my daughter does homeschool. And so 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Monday and Thursday. Yeah, I'm up at both of those times. So I just poked myself because I have some wires that still haven't been fully put together. It's still in the works. It's still being I'm still making it. But it's really turning out into a really beautiful headpiece. So let's see if you guys can see that. Oh wait, I think I have it upside down. There we go. It'll be really pretty once it's done because I'm going to have some beadwork on it too. And I'll give it a little bit more oomph. Your number is on your YouTube section still? Okay, I can message you. Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable giving my number out publicly just because, I don't know, I'm kind of trying to keep a little bit of more protection around me. Labradorite, absolutely, and that's your favorite. That's why I made your pendant out of Labradorite, because I know that you love Labradorite, and I know you love purple, so I used amethyst and Labradorite. So. Labradorite is also very much connected to like your third eye, your psychic abilities. It's also a very protective stone. Um, and it works with a lot of different energy centers, your third eye, your heart, even your throat, because it helps you be more authentic and true to yourself and your identity. And it's also a grounding stone, so that works too. And it helps you feel more grounded when you're working with your psychic abilities. Yes, please email me. I think you have both my emails, but yeah, just either one is fine. I actually don't have a good memory. That one just sticks with me. Like little things that are important to stick with me, but I don't have a good memory. For certain things though, like I remember the weirdest things. Like I can still remember my old roommate Kevin Woodman's phone number, and I have no idea why I can still remember his phone number. Like I couldn't even remember my own phone number for like the first 2 weeks that I had it. I kept having to look on my phone because I took a picture of the paper from when I got the SIM card. But yeah, even like I can still remember it even now for some strange reason. I'm like, there's no reason for me to know his number. It's not even a number he uses anymore, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. A little bit on TikTok, like a couple of years ago or last year or something like that. And then we talked when our friend Hottie passed away. I miss him. He was a good soul. He still hangs out with us. So, Tasha, I don't know if you ever met Hottie, but he was one of my best friends. Yeah, really, the strangest things. Yeah, quantum memory. I definitely can relate to that one. Yes, definitely, absolutely. Angelfish. Oh, you'll buy it for Lily? Oh, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I'll make it special for her. That's even better. I'll make it extra special. Oh, and Lily is so big. I can't wait to see your girls. Are they going to come with you when you visit, or is it just going to be you? I mean, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to. Jacoby came to see me the other day. He came and visited me, and it meant a lot to me. To have him there, because he was like, oh, I think I might just come see you. I was like, dude, that would just mean so much for me right now. I really need my brother. But yes, please do share angelfish. Yes, a family road trip would be great. I've wanted to come visit you so many times, and it's just been so hard for me to even leave Bend. I just got so stuck here. So the universe is like, all right, let's get you out of there. Let's get you back on your feet, and let's get you into some independence. It's gonna hurt, but we're gonna make it happen. Yeah. Well, the future and the past are the same thing, just in different formats. We were already going to go somewhere, so you just pulled us in the right direction. Awesome. Awesome. Yay. That makes me so happy. So the kiddos are struggling. My kid's cousin is talking about how an alien... Oh, yeah. It took courage for my daughter to share with me, and it's such a heavy thing. They're 13 and younger, so hard. Yeah, I assume that's what it was, and it just probably course corrected to unalienable. Honestly, that's so hard. That's so hard, and that's so heavy, and, good for her. That probably took a lot for her to come forward and offer that help and that assistance rather than just kind of turning a blind eye. Hi, Midnight. Hi, Midnight. Kitty's here. Well, Katana's kitty. I'm sending all of my love and energy to help support him through that. And the best thing you can do for somebody who's situation is just try to be there. Try to be as supportive as you can. Like, rather than having the focus and intention beyond, like, don't do it, like, more focus on making them feel supported and nurtured. Because oftentimes when people are in that place, it's because they feel so alone. It's because they feel unsupported and they feel like nobody even wants me here anyway. So the more you can make them feel wanted and loved and like not just like, I know that, oh, come on, Midnight, get down. He is just like gonna push it right over. The more you can make them feel wanted and loved and supported and nurtured. Nurturing really is probably one of the most powerful things, like just providing basic care. Yes, Midnight. Yeah. Providing basic care, whether it's just like simple things like, let me make you a sandwich, let me, let me give you a haircut, let me do this for you, let me give you a ride to this place. Like whatever it is that you can offer, the little things actually become the big things. It's those little supports, just like, Jacoby just saying, yeah, I'm just going to come visit you, that was after my accident, and because I had reached out to him because it was like, are they going to total my car? It was like, if they total my car, I'm not going to be able to get it fixed. Yeah, not your kid. It's trying to speak of the method, but not the reason. She's having such a time holding space. Yeah, so she also needs to be supported through that because she's carrying a lot of weight to hold that space. So even just offering, a little extra nurture for her as well. Yeah, the little things are big things. They really are. That's so hard. I wish I was able to give better advice. The best thing I can say is just like make them feel important. Not just the other kid, but also your daughter. Make her feel like what she's doing is very honorable. Lift her up. Acknowledge that it's heavy for her. Sometimes even just the acknowledgement and the validation of what they're going through, the pain and the suffering, helps take away some of that weight. Let them talk about it, even if it makes you uncomfortable. It helps them process. I feel like I came such a long way just in the past week from being able to talk to my therapist about everything. And yeah, good idea. I'll pull a card for this. And then also going live the other night and being able to kind of process through some of it through talking at the live. So Spirit, give me kind of an idea, like how to better help navigate the situation in a healthy, positive way. Safe place, but bewildered, yeah. Yeah, and she's so strong for being able to do that. Like that's a heavy weight. Most people aren't even willing to carry that weight. That it's easier for them to just turn a blind eye. And then when it happens, they're like, oh, maybe I should have done something, and it's too late at that point. So just keep acknowledging her strength, helping her recognize that. Letting go. So, and then truth. So, interesting, and burden. So letting go of the burden to acknowledge more truth. When we acknowledge that there is that burden, that heavy weight, it can feel very black and white. But in that moment, you're also being shown kind of the duality between things. Not only is she having to hold this heavy burden, but there's also an acknowledgement that some of that weight is being taken. So this other kid can possibly have enough to take a breath. And so the truth of that is it's not easy. And the more we acknowledge that and validate the truth of it rather than just pretending like it's not, that big of a deal, or if it's not their problem, or if it's not your problem, a lot of people would just be like, it's not my problem, and just turn that blind eye. But the truth it is everybody's problem. Everybody is connected in one way or another. And when we just ignore other people's pain and suffering and continue to let it get heavier and heavier and heavier, when we could easily step in and offer some support, it helps them let go of some of that weight, and so that they can be lifted up. And everything maybe doesn't seem so black and white at that moment. Like it's either, everything sucks and you have to leave, or it has to be like a certain type of good in order for everything to not suck. So it's like learning how to find more of a middle ground. And you can't do that if there's so much weight, because it's like either the weight has to be acknowledged and recognized in order for it to be lifted, or it has to be kind of worked with a little bit. Like, how do I explain this? Imagine like a big ball of yarn. It's kind of how I'm seeing it in my head. It has weight to it, and I'm just using it like you could even consider it like a heavyweight type of yarn. When it's all unraveled and messy, there's not really a whole lot of function to it. But if you can take the time to work with that weight and work with that mess, you can actually create something very functional, like a blanket or a hat or a scarf out of it. So burdens can be blessings if they're treated properly and worked with in the right way. So if you're willing to help, because it's like that ball of yarn isn't going to create a blanket or a scarf out of itself. Another person has to actually come in and work through that mess, unravel the yarn, and create the new thing. So it's like allowing help and acknowledging that there is a mess is a huge part of the ugly truth of pain and suffering, but it also helps not only the person release the pain, but also the energy of the space, the environment, all the people that are affected by that mess. It's taking up space, and maybe it just, that was probably the wrong way to put it, but like I'm just trying to see it in my head, or trying to explain it how I'm seeing it. It's like, I get the weirdest visuals. It's like taking this thing that's like, it has a lot of potential, but unless it's actually worked with, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there and stay a mess of yarn. Yeah. Well, sometimes, yeah, it's angelfish. Sometimes it's really hard because you're scared you are going to say the wrong thing. It's going to trigger the reaction that you didn't want. So that's why I'm like, the best thing is to like, don't tell the yarn to make itself a blanket. Pick the yarn up and turn it into a blanket, like, if that helps. So it's like, rather than trying to fix the kid and get them out of that feeling or those thoughts, start turning their attention towards something else. Like, is there an activity that they like that you could do together? Like, maybe they like to play soccer. Take them out and play soccer. Like, it doesn't seem like it's related at all, but it actually could be the one thing that makes all the difference. Do they like to, do they like McDonald's? Take them out to McDonald's once a week. Those little tiny things seem so insignificant and unrelated, but they can also be the one thing that keeps that kid from making those choices. Yes, huge. Yes. I don't know where it comes from, Tasha. Yes, huge responsibility loving our humans. Yes, thank you, John Vinny. Yeah. Yes, Tasha, I would love to speak with you privately about that for sure. And I went through this too with yeah, I've been through it too, and it was not an easy situation, but I'm really grateful for the people that were there to help me get through it. Thank you, Angelfish. Yes. Yeah. So I have like chills like just ran through my whole body. So um, I feel like something's like there's definitely like an energetic release happening, or just an energetic understanding. That's I felt the energy shift in a good way. So um, yeah, um, I do need to. I'm sorry. I keep moving. I keep putting my feet up on the table, and then it moves the table, and then I feel like slightly moving. It was kind of funny because I was talking about felt an energetic shift, and then I felt like the table move and the chair move, and it was a little bit disorienting. I was like, that's so, yeah, it's very weird. Yes, the acknowledgement. And just remember, it doesn't even have to be related. Like, it can be something completely unrelated, but it can make all the difference. And I know that from personal experience. Um, yeah, let's pull another card. Past, present, future. 4. Balance. And that's interesting because we were talking about that earlier. You know, past is the future, just in a different format. So the present is how we decide what that format's going to look like, because the future is developed on the format of the past, but they are also the same thing, just in different perspectives. So it's like our now awareness can shift our understanding about what we do experience in the future based on the past. That's why they're like, oh, the moment is now, everything is now. Your most powerful energy is in now, because we don't even realize this, but all of our thoughts are and actions, they happen before we even are able to recognize them. They've already been formatted and formulated in our brains. And so they're all based on these repeating, our brains are incredible things, but they have these little synapses that fire off and shoot in directions that, create actions and thoughts and feelings. And a lot of them are tied specifically to the past. So unless you're acknowledging how the past could impact your future, it's just going to keep repeating the same pathway. You can only develop new neural pathways in the now moment, and it's in that moment of recognition of the past that you develop that new neural pathway that shifts the program for the future. That's also part of the reason why I got into hypnosis, was because acknowledging that and also wanting to understand it better helped me recognize how powerful hypnosis is. And I've seen it personally with clients that I worked with regularly. Things that we worked on in their sessions are now part of their life. These things that seem so far out of reach are now the lives they are living. And I'm just like, I saw it. And even though I had to take a step back and discontinue working with them and everyone, it wasn't just them, it was everybody. I just stepped back from everybody. They were still able to take what we did in their sessions and put that into their future and create the futures that we designed in their sessions in those moments of now. It's the little things. Bo just walked in with flowers, trying to find the littlest things that bring me joy. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Oh, that was so sweet of him. Yeah. Pinky and ring finger on the left hand are tingling. Which one is that? Like, trying to remember. I know this one's Saturn. Venus, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember right now. My brain's not letting me remember. No, no, now is all really, I mean, if meditation. Yeah. Meditation is just another form of hypnosis. It's self hypnosis. Well, hypnosis is self hypnosis, but meditation is more facilitated by the self and individual. Um, whereas hypnosis is facilitated by, a practitioner. It is harder to retain and accomplish as much as you can with a facilitator on your own. It's not impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's just hard, because as somebody who is a hypnotherapist and who's been doing it for years and has done hundreds of sessions with clients, I can't even accomplish I can't accomplish the things with myself that I can with other people. Like I can't. I get too lost, and I don't. It's really helpful to have that guide, and so that's what hypnotherapist is. It's a guide. Live action without reaction possible. Um, my brain is not. It's not computing. It's like error. um, oh, live action without reaction. It's trying to understand. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, because I don't want to misunderstand. Yeah. Oh yeah, you felt that shift, John Benny. It just like shot through me, full chills. Oh, is it possible to not react? Absolutely. And actually, that was one of the things that I realized was a huge part of my shift. Was like every time I would have to talk to a crisis counselor, advocate, or one of my doctors about the situation, because you know one of the things about going to a lot of different doctors all at once during a lot of chaos is you have a lot of psychiatric notes in your files, and so they're always asking, like, do you feel safe at home? And so I have to explain to them, well, actually, my home is under protective custody or protective order right now, and so yes, I feel safe here, at least temporarily. I didn't prior to that, um, and I was always very emotionally reactive every time I would have to talk about it. But over the past week, almost no emotional reaction at all. Like acknowledgement and recognition that I went through some shit and it was still really hard. But not just this like tearing, intense, emotional response that I was getting where I couldn't even talk through it without crying. My ears are ringing. And even when I met with the lady who actually gave me the resource for Saving Grace. And so Saving Grace is a really just an amazing resource for anybody who's in a domestic situation where they deal with abuse or violence. They they literally saved me and my family. They've been such a powerful resource and advocate, and they helped me with all my paperwork and creating the protective order and everything like that. And I don't know if they're only in Oregon. I know they have like a couple facilities around, but there is other advocacy groups. There's groups that are there that are designed to help women in situations where they are not safe. I love you too, Sea Star. I literally see myself outside of myself in these combos with the kids like screaming, just listen, don't scream. Yeah, that's hard sometimes. Um, sometimes that reactive energy can be, and I've caught myself a couple times where I'll get like that high anxious anxiety and then I'll like snap. But my kids are so sensitive that they just shut down, like even just the slightest tone. And they're just like, why are you so mean? And I'm like, I didn't even mean to sound mean. I was just frustrated. But it snaps me out of it pretty quickly. And I think I've also had to do a lot of work with acknowledging my own reactive tendencies through working through my own trauma from my mother, who was very, very reactive. And um, I suffered a lot of late in life trauma response to that experience, just her constant hyperreactivity and just being very abusive, just in just a snap, like the littlest things, even the littlest things, like stuff that shouldn't have even been that bad. And yeah, acknowledging that and working through that healing helped me also be like, as soon as like I feel that, like even though like I'm talking just the slightest tone of frustration, my kids are like, why are you so mean? that hits that spot inside of me that's like, stop. Remember what happened when you were a kid. You don't want to feel that, and you don't want to inflict that. Like, not that I do, but it's like that's just that reminder to, like, it keeps me from taking it any further. It keeps me in a hyper protective state over my kids, not just for their well being, but how my mood also impacts their well being. In and out because you're at work. Oh, no, that's fine. I'm actually probably going to have to cut it short because it's after midnight and I have to be up at 5 to get my kids ready for school. So, learn to help others more than me. That's very powerful, John Benny, but make sure you're also taking care of yourself in that sense, because I found myself in those places where I get all of my happiness by proxy and I forget to fill my own cup. So make sure you're doing that. Yes, yes. Always check in with yourself. That's so important. Check in with your cup. Like, are you constantly filling others at the expense of your own? Because your cup needs to be full also. Because if you're always drained, you're not able to give as much as you can if you actually have the energy and, you know, the vitality to continue on. Because honestly, burnout is burnout is a bitch. It's hard, and it's hard to recover. It's harder to recover from burnout than it is to just maintain your energy. So be protective of yourself and your space while also providing nurture and love and care. So it's like when you're more protective of yourself, you can be more protective of others, because if you get into those burnout stages, you're not able to provide as much, um, depending on the situation. Yeah. Thank you for this beautiful live. Heading off to create music. Incredible. So yeah, check out my angry song later, John Vinny. I hope you like it. And I'll post the one for Psyche's Redemption eventually. But the lyrics are up, so they're on my post, my my community tab post. So check them out. Psyche's Redemption. I wrote that song 2 days before all of the things happened. So I wrote it on the 23rd, and then we left on the 25th. And it just means a lot to me, that song, because it was such a significant purge that I think helped me get through that. Because I think almost in a way too, like that was catalyzing that shift in my own energy that said no more. You can't keep putting up with this shit. You're fucking butterfly. God damn it. It's after midnight. I think I can cuss. It's probably fine. Bye, John. You're probably already gone, but yeah. Bye. If my face don't scare them, the questions I asked you, I feel happy to be a safe place to share for the kids, but it's also terrifying. Yeah, for sure. That's so important to let go. And hi. I'm not sure what that means, and I probably said it wrong, but yes. Jan, thank you. Thank you for your donation, Janice. Thank you. And you donated to me in the past so many times. You're such a blessing. I hope you know that. Yes, and I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really do. Yeah, and I am going to go ahead and call it. And thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And yes, you're all my heroes too. You're my heroes, and you guys mean so much to me, and I'm so happy to be back. Oh, look at that! I was talking about filling the cup. That just happened to be sitting at the top of my deck. Creativity 39. So go be creative. Use your creative power in whatever way that is for you. let that be one of the things that helps fill your cup so that it can overflow into others and nurture those around you, nurture yourself, self love, self care. For me, one of the biggest changes I've had since kind of shifting my energy into a more empowered state is, feeding myself and taking showers regularly and cleaning myself up and just making myself feel good about myself and not just going into a dilapidated state, like really honoring my body, honoring my health, and honoring my well being. So, yes. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Angelfish. Thank you for being here, Anna. And Tasha, if you're still here, thank you. John Vinny, I'm sure you're gone, but if you watch this again, thank you for being here as well. And anybody else that's here that I missed, thank you. Thank you all so much. And I love you. Bye.